I mean, they're all slightly different, and therefore relates around the business themselves. So Smurfit Kappa, it's a packaging company, historically seen as a paper company, but it's about packaging. We're seeing this move to reusable, recyclable packaging in every way, shape, or form. So what do? They produce packaging from virgin paper and from recycled paper. So very much fit into that tune themselves. And then we're seeing just the start, actually, the replacement of plastics with paper. So there's a long-term structural drive from that. They're the biggest of their kind in Europe. So a market leader, make very strong through cycle margins, very cash generative. So in its own right, a great business. Brenntag, slightly different. It's an outsourced chemical distributor. They benefit from the long-term outsourcing trend. I suspect that, as normally happens post-crisis, outsourcing accelerates. They're the biggest player in the world at that. And they also have a new management team who will come in and make some really strong changes. Project Brenntag was the Capital Markets Day presentation they did quite recently, where they talked about cutting costs and raising higher margins. So again, a stock-specific story. And that's the sort of thing we're looking for all around. Compass is slightly different. Compass, I think, is probably very well known to many people in the UK as probably the biggest outsourcer of catering worldwide. Clearly a very tough crisis for a business that provides catering to industry and to business and to sport and events. But it seems very clear to us the opportunities, again, as we come out of this, will be very strong for a business like Compass. So while it's been a very tough 9 months, as we look forward, we see some very strong long-term prospects. So it's always about the business. It's always about the business and what they can do on their own longer term. And they're three great examples.
How do you feel about Airbnb, David? One of the other stories that we're conjuring with this morning is the fact that they seem to be raising the amount that they think they can get through the IPO. They're also lifting the range for the stocks. Are you interested in Airbnb as a play, and how does that fit in with your view of the new economy story?
I mean, it's something obviously we're going to look at. I mean, clearly it is almost a typical new economy story. They've done very well to reinvent themselves, I think, during this crisis. One would have thought that anything in hospitality would struggle, but the ability of people, particularly in the US, to travel locally has been a massive boon for Airbnb. So I think there's definitely a business model there. How it comes out of this, how you value it, and how it can carry on the same relative growth when traditional hotels come back. Traditional hotels, historically, IT's been very poor. They're catching up on that. And as you mentioned in the program earlier, the more that traditional hotels come on their platform, then they become a bit like a platform for hotels. So I think it's definitely an interesting business model. Definitely it's doing very well. I personally do not like IPOs that tend to reprice upwards during the process. So we'll see how that goes. So we're watching it, but I'm not sure it's one for us.